Hi, it's Hannah. I like to talk about perfume. And over the past few years that I have been creating content that has to do with perfume and beauty, I have filmed many unboxings. Most of them are, I'll be honest, I think they're pretty ho-hum. There's not anything that interesting about an unboxing, except for the fact that you get to see the choices, the aesthetic choices that the brand is making when they're presenting their perfumes. And I do think that presentation is important. It's important to me. It's important that a perfume bottle looks beautiful, stands up nicely, and that it's something that you can easily transport. So I like to save my boxes, and if I'm going on vacation or something like that, sometimes I will take a whole bottle with me. Oftentimes I'll visit family and then I'll just leave the bottle with them if they want it. And I like having box presentation is really, really important. I think it also shows how you are thinking about your brand. And I do think that there's something in there. Something interesting about Chanel is that their packaging is recyclable. So that's why the boxes are so basic. There's no foam inside, there's no styrofoam. Everything can be tossed into the recycling bin. That's kind of nice. This is the first unboxing that's not really an unboxing because this perfume did not come in a box. This is my bottle of Rainwood by Perfumer H. I think last year or maybe the year before, I was really enamored with this brand and I was so interested in smelling the perfumes and finding out more about them. I scoured the internet. I could not find a sample set. I went on the brand website, couldn't find a sample set, and I thought that that was very elitist, that they weren't giving any samples. Not just giving, you couldn't buy them. You weren't able to buy a sample. And I think that encourages blind buying, which is not a good thing. I think it encourages people to make snap decisions when they go into a store and they have to decide right then which one they like, and you haven't been able to wear it on your skin. You haven't been able to see how it changes throughout the day, even for one day. So I thought that that was not great. When I emailed the brand, they said, yeah, we don't do samples. Go, here's the stores in Canada where you can find our perfumes. Go there and smell them there. And that is just not good enough. Like for 2025, you're shipping perfume to everywhere in the world and you're not giving people the option of buying samples. Like that just to me is crazy. And I'll stand by what I said then. It is super elitist and it's encouraging the wrong type of consumption. The comments I got were fine, but I remember there was one that was like, no, this is like a small niche brand, you know, it makes sense that they can't do samples. And no, they're not. They're not a small niche brand. So I think you're thinking of someone that's sitting in their basement making their own perfume and tinkering away at something, and maybe that person can't afford to send out samples or offer a sample set. This is not a small tiny little brand. This is not that. This is perfumer Lynn Harris, who started a very successful brand called Miller Harris. She then sold it and presumably made a good amount of money doing that so that she could start her own line and do perfume the way that she wanted. Hopefully she's doing that. And they have open stores everywhere. They just opened a store in China not too long ago. So there is enough capital to be able to make sample sets for people to purchase. I'm not saying give them out for free. I'm saying if you are able to ship perfume from your website, offer a sample set that people can buy, and not 10 ml travel sizes, like 5 ml, 2 ml, something that people can buy and understand your brand before they commit to a full bottle. And I get that that's pricey. I get that, you know, people buy samples and then they never commit to a full bottle, but I think then make better perfume that people can't get enough of, right? That can't be the reason. And I was in Italy a few weeks ago. I came across all their perfumes. I got to smell them in person. It was very exciting because I still was interested in seeing how they smelled. When I had reached out to the brand, they had said, we don't do samples. We don't ship samples to Canada. We can send you scent strips. So they sent me scent strips. I really couldn't wrap my head around the perfumes on strip. I really prefer to spray on myself. So that to me was not enough. But smelling them in person, in a store, you know, there was someone there that was walking me through all the scents, and I could kind of decide for myself. And I did fall in love with Rainwood. I tried it on skin. It smelled beautiful on my skin, and I did buy it on the spot. I was really happy to do that. And this is a presentation. I thought that was really interesting. It's a nice cloth bag. I was a little worried when I was packing this in my suitcase. I was like, is the perfume gonna survive? Is everything gonna be okay? And it was. Of course it was. I'm sure they've checked this. Open it up, and the perfume is in here. It's a very, this is the paper. That is the bottle. This is Rainwood by Perfumer H. And it's not the fanciest bottle, but I like that it is dark enough to keep light out. It is very basic. Originally, and I heard this from someone else that had bought a bottle of their perfume before. Originally, the perfumes were available in a 100 ml glass blown vessel. And then also you could buy a 100 ml refill bottle that was just a screw top. So it looked like this, except it was just a screw top. And then now they are also available, at least some of them are available in 50 ml bottles. They're nothing fancy, but I think they do the job nicely. And Rainwood was the one that I wanted. It smells just as good as it did when I smelled it in the store. There is also a piece of paper in here that says what some of the ingredients are. So there's elemi, galbanum, and you can smell the galbanum, water lily, angelica grain, cedar wood from Virginia, juniper wood, patchouli from Indonesia, frankincense, and myrrh. It really does create the effect of rain on wood, and that humidity in the air. It's fresh, but it's soothing and warm at the same time. That is the feeling that you get when you wear Rainwood. You actually can feel the humidity and the warmth that's in here, and it's still got this like refreshing nature that rain has. So you can see why I loved it so much. I mean, anyone that's grown up around lots of trees and smelling that being in an area where it is like warm and the rain is warm, that's so evocative in this perfume. I grew up in Ontario, so you know, we're right by the Great Lakes. There's lots of humidity in the air. There's lots of rain, especially in the summertime, and you get to feel this warm rain on your body. It's actually fun to, when you're a kid, to walk outside in the rain. It's in with an umbrella or like splash and puddles. It's so good. And then this scent just takes you back there. And I bring that up because that's not something that you can experience here where I live right now. In Calgary, when it rains, it's really cold. It's not a warm rain, it's a very, very cold rain. Calgary's very dry in general, so not a place where it rains a lot anyways. So that experience of feeling a warm, comfortable rain is something that's unique to certain places, and I really only appreciated it once I had left it behind. What stood out to me about all these scents that I tried, that I smelled in the store, is that they are all quite delicate. They're nuanced, they're subtle, and that's kind of different than the current trend in the market where lots of people are looking for beast mode perfumes. They're looking for longevity, they're looking for presence, they're looking for sillage. They want people to be able to smell them. If that is what you're looking for, I don't think that these perfumes are going to be for you, unless you know you're thinking you just want something that you can wear at home when you're having a quiet day reading the newspaper or a book or something like that. For me personally, I love that style of scent. I have always said that I don't like very shouty, loud perfumes. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I wear lots of perfume, but many times I am happy with something that stays closer to the skin. And even though this does stay close to your skin, it still is complex. It still evolves. You know, it starts out being very fresh and aromatic, and then it dries down to being something warmer and almost a little bit more grassy. It's so well blended that you really can't smell all the notes that are listed. You can't smell all the ingredients that are listed. You are here for the effect of the perfume, and that effect is that you feel like you're smelling rainwood, like you're smelling wet wood in the rain. Maybe you're in a forest, maybe you're walking outside, and you're smelling that all day long in different ways when you wear this perfume. Obviously, you're going to have better longevity if you spray it on clothes or your hair, but even then, I'm not getting 12 hours of wear out of this. I would say I'm getting closer to 6 or 8 hours, which is fine. It's still a beautiful perfume, and it's for people that appreciate subtlety. It's for people that don't need something that is so powerful, and something that they can smell all day long. If you're okay with that, then you will enjoy this style of scent. And rainwood is just the perfect petrichor kind of scent for me. I kind of don't want to call it a petrichor scent, because petrichor is the meaning of it is the scent of rain when it hits stone. So this is not so much like stone. It is the woodsiness in it does come across. The other perfume that I was really interested in smelling when I was there, that had been kind of hyped up and I had seen lots of people talk about it, was Rain Cloud by Perfumer H. And the store that I was at, it's called Campo Marzio 70, and this was in Milan. I think there's other locations too. Oh yeah, tons of other locations like Rome and Florence and Como. So this store gave us samples when we were there. They gave me a sample of Rain Cloud, and I'm not a fan of this one. I have worn it. It just smells a little bit medicinal to me. It's a little bit more floral. It has a wetness and a humidity, but it just smells like medicine, and not in a good way. Sometimes I really like medicinal notes. This is one that I don't. There's something that's very, very off-putting about it. I might try it on a different day. I might try it in warmer weather and see what I think, but Rain Cloud, not for me. I know that's the one that people want to smell and like the idea of, but to me it was not what I wanted. And then the other one that surprised me, the one that I was kind of impressed that it was so interesting and so well done, was ink. So I got a sample of ink. When I thought about ink, I thought that this would be like, there's a scent by Acro that's called ink, and I think it's supposed to smell like tattoo parlors or something like that, or like that idea of getting a tattoo. But this ink is completely different and definitely more to my aesthetic, because it's supposed to evoke that idea of sitting down at a desk and writing with a fountain pen. And so you smell the paper and you smell the woodsiness of the desk. And that's why this is called ink. And I thought that that was a really clever, interesting take on that idea of ink, and definitely speaking more to me as someone who likes to read and write a lot. So I'm going to continue to wear ink and try ink a little bit more. I was really happy that this one kind of blew me away. I smelled dandelion also. To me, that was just very basic and very grassy. I know people also love the scent of grass and that idea of enjoying the grass when you're a little kid, the same way that I described enjoying walking in the rain when I was little. I know people enjoy that scent in the same way, but to me, it was just very galbanum heavy and not as interesting. But Rainwood was super interesting. Ink was a great concept. I'm going to definitely spray that on skin a few more times and see how it wears. And Rain Cloud was kind of a letdown because it's just not it's not giving me what I want. It's not pretty enough, beautiful enough. It's not evocative of anything else that's different. So that was my experience. Some of you guys know that I also have like a little group of friends that I smell perfume with. And I actually did not take these to our last perfume meeting because I feel like they're too subtle and they're just gonna get eaten away and lost with all the other smells that are in the air. So if you do sample these, I think you have to be in the mood to appreciate subtlety and to be willing to smell all the nuances that are embedded in the perfume, and also have an open mind for what you're gonna smell. Because if you have that, I think you have a better chance of discovering something that you're really going to love, and you're going to be able to see things in a new light. It's a good mindset for trying anything new, not just for perfume. But if you have an open mind when you go and smell these and almost smell them blindly and then pick the one that you would like the best, then you'll have an excellent experience smelling them. Unfortunate that there's still no samples in Canada. I see on their website that they have a sample service, but I guess it doesn't ship here. But if you're interested in trying these, I know that on their website they say they do deliver to Canada. So you can buy them from the website. You can buy them on Nose Paris. You can buy them at other stores in Canada and the US. A lot of them are not perfume stores. I think that's deliberate by the brand. I feel like they would. These scents are so subtle. I think they would get lost if they were, you know, put next to brands like Acro and even something like Bon Parfumer or some of these bigger brands that are very trendy right now, but have these like really intense, strong perfumes. There is nothing that is intense and kind of in your face about Perfumer H, and I love that about them. I think they're so understated. They're kind of like that quiet luxury aesthetic. It's like the embodiment of that. It almost encourages buying less, especially because they had those big hand-blown glass vessels. It encourages you to just have a, I don't know, a signature scent like the olden days. I know people don't wear perfume like that anymore, but I'm thinking if you're spending 600 euros or dollars on a glass-blown perfume, or sorry, hand-blown glass perfume bottle, then you're going to wear that forever is what I'm thinking. You're not just going to move on to the next thing. For me, this little 50 ml bottle was great. I have a lot of perfume. I buy a lot of perfume, but I am really appreciating this right now, and that's Perfumer H. Let me know what you think. If you have smelled this brand or if you have a favorite, I would love to hear what it is, even if it's Rain Cloud, which I didn't really love. If you smell something different than I do, that's great. Leave me a comment, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.